Why in the world would he say something like that?
Especially when that's the number one polarizing issue. That's your wedge issue in 2016. If Donald Trump has done anything, he's proven that.
If a Republican wins the White House, and by the way, George Bush had Republicans. He did. He had Republican Congress for the first couple of years. What the hell did he do? Did he build a wall on the southern border? No. So George Bush has a whole host of issues of his own. So when George Bush is out there bashing guys like Ted Cruz or Donald Trump, Mr. Bush, I love you to death, but you need to stay quiet. I get it, your brother's in the race, I get all that. But the Bush family needs to just sit on the sidelines, take the high road like we've always said you've done, and stay out of this race. Because when you had the reins, you drove the car into the ditch. Really. I don't know if cars have reins. That was kind of a mixed metaphor there. But you get what I'm saying.
I was there with you. I had cars and reins. Listen, it's been a while since I've been behind the wheel. I get what you're saying. But I think the point here is pretty clear. We've all said that this is the year of the outsider. We see that with who's leading in the polls. Carson, Donald Trump. We've seen Carly Fiorina up and down. We've seen Ted Cruz up and down. Ted Cruz, the only insider up in the polls. Why? Because he paints himself as a Washington outsider, talking about the Washington cartel.
Well, he's one of the few guys who actually stands up and fights. Will threaten a filibuster. Will threaten to vote against what the party wants. He's not owned by anyone.
And I think that's clear because none of the people who, quote-unquote, own anybody in the race has given him any money. But you know what? For me, the whole thing is just thinking of establishment Republicans running to their new best friends, moderate Democrats, for cover because the grassroots has gotten some balls lately. And they're starting to push an agenda. And the agenda is further right, read into that conservative and grassroots, than they want it to be. And I don't think that anybody in the grassroots is against compromise. But for God's sakes, can we get someone who actually knows the art of the deal? Can we get someone that understands that when you take an extreme position, Russ Gallo negotiation 101, if you will, when you take an extreme position, you'll end up getting more than you would if you cave earlier? Listen, in my law firm, if I ask for $25,000 for an injury that I know is worth $25,000, I won't be getting that. But if I ask for $75,000, I know I'm more likely to bring them up and me come down a little less every now and then. I might end up with $35,000. Point being, learn how to negotiate, Republicans. The establishment, you don't have to give away the store to be able to say that you accomplished something. And here's the other thing now. Now I'm getting off on a rant over here. Accomplishing something means real accomplishment. It does not mean passing another law for the sake of passing another law. And I think that's what we confuse real accomplishment, real credibility with spin. And the spin is, look at all we did in the last term of Congress. Well, did you really have to do all that? I would have preferred you use your energies to make sure that you got more concessions from the White House in negotiating a debt ceiling deal than you did by passing another law, which, by the way, you couldn't get passed anyway. I'm looking right at you, Sanctuary Cities bill. Another example of where you could have negotiated better. It's an uproar right now in Congress, in my opinion, man. And you're right. Someone like a Donald Trump or even a Ben Carson or a Ted Cruz can set it right.
You said learn to negotiate, Gene. They also got to learn how to fight in Congress, okay? Let me talk about the Senate for a second and Mitch McConnell, that piece of garbage that we have in there leading the Senate. Does anyone remember how Obamacare actually got passed? Did it pass with 60 votes?
Oh, there was so much compromise there. It was a give and take. It was a dialogue. No, it wasn't. It was all Democrat votes.
All Democrat votes. But how could it pass, Gene, without 60 votes? There's a mystery for you. I thought every piece of legislation in the Senate basically has to get 60 votes to avoid a filibuster.
I think the leadership in the Senate sets that agenda, don't they, Russ?
Well, let me educate our listeners here.
Please do.
Here's a little piece of political science that went on in the Senate to show you the balllessness, and I don't know if I can say that anymore because I know we're on a bunch of different stations.
You could say balllessness. We're still allowed.
The balllessness of Mitch McConnell and the Republican leadership. Obamacare passed through reconciliation in the Senate. Well, what is reconciliation, one may ask? Reconciliation is the way certain budgetary items can get passed in the Senate without requiring 60 votes. It would require a simple majority of 51. Well, how do those things, who decides what goes through reconciliation, you might ask? So here's how that works. The leader of the Senate, in conjunction with the parliamentarian, decides which pieces of legislation or parts thereof can go through the reconciliation process and avoid being filibustered. So, the parliamentarian, who appoints the parliamentarian? The parliamentarian is actually appointed by the majority party in the Senate.
In this case, the ballless Republicans.
Yes, so I know I'm getting all wonky here, but here's the plan. Obamacare was passed under reconciliation. Obamacare should be able to be overturned through, I'll wait, Gene, guess, reconciliation. Okay, so now if the parliamentarian does not agree, guess who gets to fire the parliamentarian?
The ballless Republican leadership.
Correct. Fire the parliamentarian, appoint a new parliamentarian, consult that new parliamentarian, Obamacare go through reconciliation, overturn the damn thing. Overturn the damn thing. You all ran, including you, Mitch McConnell, you piece of trash, on saying you were going to overturn it. Well, the president will veto the bill. Okay, put it on his desk. Make him veto it.
Is that Russ Gallo or Rich Little with all these impressions over here?
Make him veto it. Why are we not putting these things on the desk? It's simple. The Democrats did it to us. Why would we not? And before anyone in the chat room, because I know we got a bunch of rhinos, kumbaya Republicans out there says, well, we got to take the high road. No, we don't. We got to learn how to fight. They did it to us through reconciliation. There's nothing wrong with it. Use the power we got and overturn this damn thing.
And you know what? NDAA may have been an example of people actually getting it a little bit, but I don't think they did because they didn't negotiate the concessions in spending before they sent it up there. So now Obama's going to make it look like, and this is all about great politics right now, Obama's going to make it look like the Republicans don't know what they're doing with the NDAA, but yet Obama got everything he wanted in the NDAA as far as concessions, and now he's trying to get more. Give it up for Obama and the Democrats on this, folks. They play the game like they're playing chess and we're playing checkers.
Gene, the secret is Obama didn't get what he wants in the NDAA. He got sequestration. That's what he wanted. Sequestration hurt which department or which funding item the hardest. It hurt the Defense Department. The Defense Department took the biggest hit through sequestration. We have yet to refund the Defense Department from all the cuts through sequestration. The military is in shambles right now. Shambles. And we have yet to fund them properly. We're funding the Defense Department through continuing resolutions. Use your head, people. You can't do long-range planning. Long-range strategic planning and development of weapon systems on continuing resolutions. You need budgets, yearly budgets, biannual budgets to do long-range planning. Obama doesn't want that, and the spineless Republicans in Congress. Ballless Republicans in Congress. Even if they wanted to negotiate, they don't know what they're doing. If Obama wants Planned Parenthood funding so bad, attach it to the NDAA. Attach it to it. You veto this bill, Mr. President. You're going to get your $500 million for Planned Parenthood. But you're going to fund the military for a year so they can get back into doing long-term planning. Put it on his desk and see what he does.
Which brings me to the news that came out recently this week about Planned Parenthood. Not to get you all riled up for us, but there's a new video out yet again from the Center for Medical Progress. But this one may be the smoking gun because there's a doctor from Planned Parenthood admitting that they perform partial birth abortions. That they actually put the baby in breech, they bring the baby out below the belly button, and then they cut the spinal cord while the baby is actually out of the womb. Really scary stuff. Go to Jeff Dunitz actually did a great article from Media Research Center on this. You may see the smoking gun coming up on the Planned Parenthood battle. And oh my God, if you were disgusted before, just wait, people.
I'm actually done with this topic too. Could it be, Gene, that we're the only two people that care about this? Is that possible?
Well, other people are writing about it, so I think there's maybe at least 3.
There's 435 members of the House and another 100 in the Senate. Not one of them cares? Not one of them cares?
Yeah. I mean, I sense your frustration.
We're going to elect Republicans so they can select their leadership that won't do a damn thing about this?
Maybe the leadership doesn't realize that social conservative issues are actually not ones you shy away from right now. This is probably the strongest presidential cycle for social conservative issues, like defunding Planned Parenthood, like a whole host of other issues, First Amendment rights, religious freedom rights. It's all there. It's a conservative's dream as far as what you can talk about in this cycle. So why shy away from it? I'm with you on that, Russ. We're heading towards the end of the show right now. But I know we haven't done Buffoon of the Week in a while. I don't know if you have one. I have one. You may want to go in with me on this one once you hear who it is.
Let's see.
Certain MSNBC anchor woman, or host of a show, I should say. Not really an anchor woman. We all know her. We love her. It takes a village to raise a family. Remember her. Melissa Harris Perry.
One of my favorites.
Talking about how the phrase hard worker is a new dog whistle when it comes to conservatives. Don't use the phrase hard worker in front of Melissa Harris Perry, because hard work isn't really what we do, Russ, sitting here talking on a microphone, preparing for a show, doing hours of research. Well, me doing hours of research and putting a show together. No. That's not hard work.
Let the record reflect, Gene woke me up about 2 minutes before the show.
Hard work is workers in a field during slavery. That's what we should be talking about. That's hard work. How dare you say that Paul Ryan's a hard worker? Don't say that to Melissa Harris Perry. Buffoon. What is wrong with you, woman? And yes, I said woman. What is wrong with your sensibilities? Not everything is political. Sometimes hard worker means hard worker. And let's start using the real words for the real meanings, not your twisted meanings. You got a warped brain there, lady. Buffoon. You joining me on that one or what?
I'm not going to join you on that one, but
I'm
with you on it, but we don't need a dog whistle for you, although with you it might fit there, Miss Perry, but we don't need a dog whistle.
Harris Perry, hyphenated.
Yeah, I don't believe in that crap. My buffoon is John Boehner. I got to throw him in there. Hopefully very soon we won't have John Boehner kick around anymore. But one last time, I'm gonna throw him in the hat. The guy is a pure buffoon. He's $4 trillion the debt we added to the debt under this guy's speakership. $4 trillion, and he's gonna add another couple before he leaves office. He's a disaster. He's destroyed the party. Destroyed America's faith in Republicans in Congress, and quite frankly, might have just cost us the White House with this buffoonish act. So that's my pick.
All right, folks, there you go. We're going to put the poll up on www.BehindEnemyLinesRadio.us. I'm going to try it one more time. www.BehindEnemyLinesRadio.us. You get to vote all next week. Come back next week. You got a shot to win Roger Stone's book. But until then, we're going to shut it down. Right, Russ?
Gene, please shut this down.
All right, folks, we are out of here. Our position has been compromised. It's time to roll out. Report for debriefing at www.BehindEnemyLinesRadio.us and look for regular communications via Facebook and Twitter at BEL_radio. You are the resistance. Behind Enemy Lines. Back in 7 days. Out.